Hello, how you doing? I'm Dale Rodman Jr. III, and this is Slow to Pro, the video series where we go from slow to slowly figuring things out. Today we're back with Season 14 from Zealous Racing League, North America's premier gentleman's racing club, but definitely not the best gentleman's club. We got 35 total cars on grid with drivers split into 3 categories. We got the gold drivers with their fancy white number badges, got the silver drivers like me with the black/silver number badges, and of course my favorite class, the rookies with their red badges. You can see what class someone is in by looking right here in the bottom left. What color is behind their number tells you their class. With all that out of the way, we're starting P23 overall, P10 in our class, and it's time for the green flag. Firstly, a quick but huge thanks to car number 80, Matt Lung, for crafting the livery that we're probably going to be using forever. Secondly, another huge thanks to everyone who helped get this channel over the 500 subscriber hurdle. It means more to me than it probably should. I really appreciate you dorks. Back to the action. Screwed up my braking here and then got a little confused because I couldn't remember if I shot past an extra car or not. So I ended up letting freaking Glenn go by right here in a stupid looking BMW. This next sequence of turns is usually a high spot for chaos on the opening lap, so I've got my head on a swivel, trying to stay aware of everything in front, behind, and beside, desperate not to be the one to ruin this clean start we've got cooking up. Mr. Trudell, one of the Lamb Bros, gonna squeeze his way right up the inside, gonna make easy work of me, and then we're gonna get door bashed by a Porsche, gonna send himself off. See you later, dweeb. And now we're coming up to the long straight, and it's I got quite a bit of a gap to the cars in front of me here, and I'm able to line it up and shoot right up the inside of Mr. Trudell. We answer right back, get our position back. We're right alongside by side with this Ferrari, but I changed the default aggressive to max wing because I heard that that's a good thing to do. So yeah, there goes the Ferrari in his low to no wing setup, and there goes me losing speed to my max wing, but that's okay because we'll get it back in the twisties. Coming up now to what I believe is one of the most difficult turns of any circuit, the fast right-hander, easy to get through, hard to get through fast. We choose safety. We're going to get up nice and close to all these cars in front of us. Going to take an inside line to Mr. Maurer in that 117 purple Ferrari. He's doing a great job holding that outside line, leaves us side by side on exit, but then the number 5 BMW brakes a little early, allows me to get up door to door with that BMW driven by Mr. Reed. We're gonna go side by side on exit, got ourselves a good old-fashioned horse race. We're galloping toward this last sequence of turns. Let's see who comes out on top. I think it's gonna be me, but I do not fucking remember. Mr. Reed pulls back ahead as we head into the final turn, but he leaves the door wide open. We're able to sneak right up, stuff our big fat bald head in, and now we are side by side with Mr. Pinio in his stupid BMW. We've got Mr. Bartlett there and that beautiful GTR in front of us. So after the opening lap, we're down to P26 overall, P12 in our class. Good thing it isn't the first lap that counts. As we head into turn 1 here, try to force Mr. Pinio into a mistake, but it doesn't shake out the way I needed to, so we're forced to back off and regroup. So let's go ahead and skip to the next bit of action. End of the second lap, headed into the final turn, and we've got the 731 Mclaren of Mr. Beaudry turned around, and like a heat-seeking missile, Mr. Pinio finds a way to hit him. Unfortunately, not hard enough to give us any advantage, so we tuck right back in and wait for our moment. That puts us up 1 position, P25 overall, B11 in our class. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to the next spicy bit. Here we are all the way on lap number 6, still behind Mr. Pinio on that ugly BMW. Mr. Easterling in the 23 Porsche, just gonna run it a bit wide, which allows Mr. Pinio to get through, and then either has trouble getting the power down, or is just the ultimate gentleman, which allows me to advance a position as well. Either way, we're up to P24 overall, P10 in class, and it's time to skip ahead again. Here we are at the start of lap number 6, got a couple cars side by side headed into turn number 1, and the 138 of Mr. Collis gets the dirty end of that stick. Collis's line has an impact on Pinio, so as we exit turn number 2, got a bit of a run on Pinio, but he has the inside line. I'm hoping he fucks the breaking point and takes out Collis. But it doesn't happen. Pinio just ends up slapping that BMW right alongside Collis. But as we go through this tight turn here, Pinio has trouble putting the power down, allowing Collis to claw his way back in front. And if we skip ahead now to the end of the straight, Pinio makes his way out of the draft, and I decide to follow him due to the pressure being put on me from behind by Mr. Easterling in his Porsche. We all make it through the turn nice and safe. I'm able to hold my position. Pinio gains himself one. Let's go ahead and skip now to lap number 8. Carlos in the green 138 McLaren is right on the tail of Mr. Pinio in the ugly 99 BMW. Some would say he's a little too on the tail as he gives Pinio a little tap to the rear and then straightens him back out. I take great pleasure in this because we've just gained 2 overall positions and 2 class positions, putting us up to P22 overall, P8 in the silver class, and it's time to jump the next bit of action. Haha, I tricked you. There was none. We just lapped and lapped, did our pit stop. Only positions we gained were from people getting penalties for either speeding in the pits or track limits, both for some. Last exciting part right here on the final lap when I realized Carlos earned himself a drive-through, so that'll be a 30-second penalty for him after the race, which obviously benefits me. All said and done, we finished P5 in the silver class, P17 overall. Not a bad way to start this season. Now let's jump on over to round number 2 here at Snetterton. Here we are starting P21 overall, P8 in the silver class, and it's time for the green flag. And we're gonna have another pretty clean start to this race. The only real surprise headed into turn number 1 is gonna be Mr. Lung coming across the track, breaking loose in that number 80 Ferrari. But thankfully he doesn't make contact with anyone or anything. He's able to get that car back under control and rejoin rather quickly. Well, doesn't ruin his race at least. Headed into the hairpin, another point for chaos on the opening lap. I'm going to be very defensive, cover the inside line. I don't want anybody trying to sneak their big fat bald heads up inside my big fat bald head. I would not like that at all. Surprisingly, nothing really interesting happens here on the opening lap. We gain 1 position to a car off track in the final turn, and if we skip to the start of lap number 2, Mr. Nicholson in the 21 Porsche there gonna surprise me with his brakes, and I take the opportunity to slide right up in there, maybe a bit dangerously. Thankfully, Mr. Nicholson has his head in the goddamn game, plays along with my mistake. We're able to make the pass stick, puts us up into P19 overall, P6 in class. It's time to skip ahead again. Here we are, lap number 7, Mr. Collis in his 138 green McLaren there. Gonna do a little landscaping, that's it, nothing spectacular. It does bump us up 1 more spot to P17 overall, P5 in class. And let's skip ahead and see what's in store. Lap number 12, this time it's Mr. Pinio doing the landscaping in his ugly number 99 BMW. That's gonna go ahead and push us up the leaderboard another spot, P16 overall, P4 in class. And I'm starting to smell a podium. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to find out. Here we are, about 14 minutes left in this race, and I finally caught the pack in front of me, and it's a mishmash of classes with a rookie driver and a gold driver in between me and my next in-class position. Now you know what I do when the pressure is on, right? I put that hammer down and shit! Now luckily we're able to bounce right back onto the track, get the car started, and we only lose about 10 seconds total. Puts Mr. Collis right on our tail, and it kind of dashed my hopes of a podium. But if we skip ahead to the final lap, it looks like I wasn't the only one to miscalculate their fuel load. See, I've got about 12 laps worth of fuel left in my tank, but poor Mr. Fletcher here, looks like he's got 0 left in his. That's going to put us up to P3 in class, P14 overall. And then we turn the corner to find another lost soul. That's Mr. Boju there in the 731 McLaren. Gonna give us another freebie here on the final lap. That'll put us all the way up to P13 overall, P2 in the silver class, which is where we finish the race. After the first 2 rounds of season 14, here are the standings. Somehow, some way, we find ourselves at the top of this chart, which is neat, but I don't expect it to last. If I can keep myself in the top 5 of this very competitive silver class, I'll be pretty happy. Next 2 rounds are at Hungaro Ring and Valencia, so I will be back once we run those, maybe sooner, we'll see. As always, I'm Dale Robin Jr. III. Thank you so much for watching Slaughter Pro. You guys have the kind of day you want to have.